As the deadline for the girls' assignment drew near, the atmosphere inside my uncle's cabin changed less than I thought it would. Encroaching deadlines, the enemy and great motivator of any creator, were a sign that the end was near. They existed as a warning for affected parties to get their asses in gear and to finally finish the task at hand. And yet, in this household, in which 3 of the 4 occupants were working towards a nearing deadline, there was no tension to be found. For 2 of the 3 affected girls, I could somewhat understand their relaxed demeanors. After all, Dawn had already finished her assignment the week before, and just yesterday morning I watched over Estelle as she put the finishing touches on hers. Neither one of them needed to work any harder to achieve their goals. They could simply wait for the verdict to be delivered by my uncle, then accept his grade and move on. Even so, the complete lacks of anxiety exuded by the 2 of them confused me. Both of their futures could be riding on the result of their assignments, yet they were completely at ease, as though their fates had already been decided. More worrying than the 2 of them, however, was Nakchan. As the only student of my uncle's yet to finish, she should be hurriedly painting away, working to meet her deadline or die trying. Instead, her mind was forever focused on her manga, and if I gave her even a short break, she would inevitably use it to draw. With precious few days left to go, I decided that I needed to be more strict with Nakchan. Even if she was almost done, I couldn't afford to ease up until she too had completed her assignment. With that in mind, I headed to Nakchan's bedroom. "Hey Nakchan, are you awake yet?" "No." I opened the door just far enough to see Nakchan's bed. Sprawled out over on her bed was Nakchan, in a pose somewhat different than usual. While I was used to seeing Nakchan lying around with her hips raised, this time around she was on her side, sound asleep. She really is still asleep. Nakchan is the only one who still hasn't finished, and yet there she is, sleeping in. Oh well, I'll give it another hour, then it's time to crack down. In the meantime, I stood post outside Nakchan's bedroom while pondering my next course of action. Since I first arrived at Uncle's cabin, my life had more or less revolved around the 3 girls I was told to look after. If I wasn't whipping one of them into shape, I was helping another, or wondering how I could make our time together progress more smoothly, and today was no exception. I did agree to help Estelle improve her portrait drawing, and she has been wanting to dabble in more realism for practice. But before that, I really ought to check on Dawn. She's had a rather tough time these past few days. Even if she was tempting fate, Dawn was teased mercilessly while we were all at the beach together. I think having Nakchan stick her fingers up Dawn's ass really traumatized her. Only a few steps away was Dawn's room. I decided to check up on her. "Dawn, you awake?" "Come on, Dawn. If you think I'm going to go away without checking, you're dead wrong. If you're, busy, clean up quickly, okay?" She's been warned. I slowly opened the door, buying Dawn a little extra time as I entered. As Dawn came into full view, however, I realized that I needn't have bothered. "Ah, Dawn, so you are in here." Nod. "What's with you girls? Do none of you respond when someone calls for you?" "Sorry," Dawn replied in a soft voice, fitting the introverted image she projected. While this may have seemed like nothing out of the ordinary to most, Dawn's reply left me a little worried. Despite how Dawn appeared to others, I knew her as a quiet yet cheerful girl. She would happily joke around with someone after getting to know them. And for all her secrecy, she wasn't actually a cold person. So for that gentle girl to have regressed from bribing me with panties to barely acknowledging me, something had to be wrong. "Don't worry about it. I'm the one imposing on you after all. Anyway, are you feeling alright? You seem down these past few days." Dawn turned away as I spoke. More so than ever, she didn't want to talk to me. "It's about what happened at the beach, right? I'm sorry. Even if I wasn't the one harassing you, I didn't do anything to put a stop to it either. You have every right to be mad." "I'm not mad. Not at you, at least." Though still in short fragments, Dawn spoke just a little more candidly. "That's a relief. I didn't want you to go back to ignoring me again. Even if I'm not the one you're mad at, is there anything I can do? I hate to see you three not getting along. Dawn's expression picked up minutely as she thought over my question. Maybe you could... Yes? Give me your panties? Dawn, you do realize I'm a guy, right? Irrelevant. It's completely relevant. Dawn, it's because of this kind of behavior that those two are seeking vengeance on the beach. I know they went too far, but you have to understand the part you played in all this. I understand. Do you? Do you really? You just asked me, a man, for my panties. I mean, there are some guys who wear panties. I'm sure. I don't... Like, you're not going to judge them, but I'm not one of them. Peeping on people and stealing their panties may seem like a fun prank, but in reality, it's against the law. If it weren't for the fact that you're female, chances are you would have been reported and arrested by now. But they started it. I sincerely doubt that either one of those two went through your underwear drawer and intruded on you while you were in the bath. Faced with unyielding pressure, Dawn began to buckle. She had undeniably erred, and none of her excuses were being accepted. All she could do was accept her role in what happened. Look, I'm not going to tell you all to be friends, and I'm certainly in no position to judge. I just want you all to get along for the duration of our time here. Is that too much to ask for? Dawn shook her head. Great. I'm glad you see it that way. Now all that's left for you is to apologize and... Apologize? Me? Dawn suddenly shouted, catching me off guard. In an instant, her submissive demeanor disappeared, and she showed her one of willingness to assert herself. Why should I apologize to them? Well, you just agreed that you were in the wrong too, right? So the best thing would be for everyone to apologize to one another, and I will not. Her fist literally shaking, Dawn adamantly, goddamn it, refused to apologize. Those two tormented me all day, ganging up on me when I was at my weakest and making my life hell once more. Why on earth would I apologize to them? Small tears began forming in the corners of Dawn's eyes. While I didn't understand exactly what was eating away at her, I realized by this point that the beach trip was just the tip of the iceberg. You really feel that strongly about it, huh? Of course I do. I hate bullying like that more than anything. True to her words, Dawn seemed more agitated than I'd ever seen her before. What Nakchan, Estelle, and I viewed as pranks, Dawn endured as nothing more than spiteful bullying. She was ganged up on, forced to wear revealing clothing, repeatedly exposed, and even penetrated by Nakchan. Looking back at what had happened, it really was akin to bullying. Throughout my entire life, it's always been like this. People hate me because I can draw better than they can, or because I'm not outgoing, or because I prefer to be alone. They think I'm looking down on them, and in their mind, that gives them the right to do whatever they want to me. I thought things would be different here, where everyone present is a skilled artist, and yet... Dawn stopped, taking a breath, still holding back tears. I'm just so sick of it all. After venting her frustration, Dawn grew quiet once more. Stuck between despair and rage, she silently stood in front of me, leaving me at a loss of what to do. You hug her, damn it. In a situation like this, am I supposed to hug her? Yes! Or keep as far away as possible. I can't even tell if Dawn needs comfort or alone time. There's no way I'm suited to dealing with problems like this. I'm just an art student, not a therapist. When I decided to check on Dawn, I had expected her to have recovered, or to perhaps be quietly brooding. I wasn't prepared for an outburst, nor did I feel qualified to handle an outburst. All I could do was offer an ear and hope that my presence would help. Having said her piece, Dawn seemed just as lost as I was. She blamed Nakchan and Estelle, not me, so there was nothing she could hope to gain from me personally. In this case, I was someone to confide in, and nothing more. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say all that. This isn't something I should be troubling you with. Oh, don't worry about it. Anyway, what do you plan on doing? Are you going to ignore those two until they apologize? No, that won't work. Bullies don't like to be ignored. If you ignore them, they just antagonize you even more. That's true. That bullshit about just ignoring them and they'll get bored? No, they won't. Bullies don't fucking work that way. I need to think this over. On that note, Dawn closed the door to her bedroom, shutting the rest of us out and indulging in a much-needed alone time. Why is everything getting all sad? After taking some time to think about what happened with Dawn, I decided to seek out Estelle. While Nakchan still needed to finish off her assignment, Estelle had already completed hers and was thus free for conversation. So while Nakchan was hopefully working inside the classroom, completely oblivious to the drama she helped cause, I sought out the one person I could approach without reservation. Hey, Estelle, are you in there? Over here. As I knocked on Estelle's door, a voice rang out from the living room. Oh. Laying on the living room couch was Estelle. Posed in a similar fashion to Nakchan when she was drawing manga, Estelle occupied herself with a magazine while showing no interest in what was going on around her. She could have been on the couch all morning for all I knew, quietly relaxing after finishing off her dreaded assignment. So this is how you spend your free time, huh? Sometimes, yes. I just wanted to chill out for a while. It'll only be a few days until our teacher gets back after all. Hold on, mouse. Get off of Estelle's hair. Oblivious to the fact that I could see her underwear through her shorts, as well as her underboobs, Estelle answered nonchalantly. Fair enough. After all those late nights and long painting sessions, it would be good to reset your body clock before lessons resume. Yeah, something like that. Estelle quickly lost interest in what I was saying and continued reading her magazine. So what's up? Ready to make good on your promise? My promise? I make no promises. Without turning back to look at me, Estelle asked an unexpected question. A promise I made to Estelle. To model for me, so I can practice drawing portraits? Oh, I remember. Sheesh. I can understand wanting to forget something so troublesome, but it's not like I'm asking for much. It's not like I'm gonna make you pose nude or anything. If I thought I was going to be posing nude, I would have agreed to begin with. I don't mind posing for you, but can it wait until another day? I want Nakchan to finish her painting today, if possible, so I can slap her silly. What? I was about to say what. Estelle half turned her head, glancing at me with a look of disbelief. Wow, I never picked you for an abusive husband. Shh! This isn't a laughing matter. After Nakchan finishes her painting, the first thing the two of you will need to do is apologize to Dawn. If you refuse, I'll make you apologize. By force, if necessary. Bemused by my idle threat, Estelle rolled her eyes and faced her magazine once more. Despite appearing unaffected, however, Estelle didn't reply immediately, nor did she continue reading. We really did go too far, didn't we? In a quiet voice, Estelle asked a rhetorical question. I knew Dawn wouldn't take it well, yet I went along with it anyway. Maybe I should have swapped swimsuits with her after all. I think Dawn would have looked way cute in the cute one Estelle was wearing. Fighting off the mental image of Estelle wearing the swimsuit she loaned to Dawn, I tried to stay on point. Look, we're all to blame for what happened. The important thing is that we clear everything up. The last thing we need is for this cabin to be overrun with hostility. I can't deny that. I'll make sure to apologize to Dawn properly. I stared at Estelle blankly. As a Gyaru with a typically foul attitude, I expected her to adamantly refuse to apologize to Dawn. But we realized that wasn't her actual personality, so of course she's going to be a nice person now. Like, what do you... Instead, she readily agreed that she had erred, and resolved to apologize without further prompting. Seriously? I mean, I know I'm the one who brought this up, but I didn't think you'd agree so easily. Estelle shot me another bemused glare. It's only natural to apologize when you're in the wrong. Besides, I've lost enough friends because of either their pride or mine. I don't intend to let history repeat itself. It figures that Estelle would have been through this before. At any rate, it's not me you need to be worrying about. Nakchan is the real wild card here. Nakchan is? Estelle nodded. Nak-chan may seem easygoing, but she's also a stubborn idiot. Even in hindsight, I doubt she sees a single thing wrong with that day at the beach. Just as Estelle claimed, Nak-chan had been the one constantly escalating things that day. Estelle simply splashed on, as one would expect of the two girls playing in the ocean together. Nak-chan, on the other hand, frequently pulled off Dawn's clothing and even kind of stuck fingers in her butthole. Whether it was the excitement of the beach trip or Nak-chan's true nature leaking out, she unashamedly acted in that manner all day, never once hesitating or apologizing. You may be right about that. Of course I'm right. Even if we aren't exactly close. I've known those two much longer than you have. Even so, I'll admit that you have made the right decision to wait until after Nak-chan's finished her assignment before demanding an apology. Let me know when it's time, Kay? Yeah, sure thing. Estelle turned away from me once more, palming off responsibility onto me as she ended our conversation. Kay! Despite starting late, Nak-chan was able to make good progress on her assignment. I watched over her for most of the day, ensuring that she didn't slack off or get bored and start drawing manga. Her progress was slow, and the closer she the closer she drew to the finish line, the more careful her brush strokes took. Nak-chan needs a nap. God damn, what time is it? I feel like I've been painting all day. You have. It's almost dinner. Seriously? Are you telling me that I missed out on lunch? And I didn't make any progress on my manga? Man, today was a waste. Almost completing your assignment is a waste? I sighed at Nak-chan's attitude. Listen, I know you hate Mars, but you're almost done. If you wake up early tomorrow morning, you might even finish before breakfast. I guess. Or I could sleep in and finish it before lunch. That would be even more impressive, wouldn't it? No, it would not, actually. Oh, don't be like that. It's okay to be impressed by me. Nobody would blame you. I rolled my eyes and walked towards the door. Yeah, real impressive, Nak-chan. Now come on, your potato chips are gonna get cold. Potato chips, you say? You mean you aren't going to make fish for everyone again? Only if you want to pay for it. That night was meant to be a reward for the progress you all had made. It's not going to become a routine. A reward, huh? Nak-chan averted her gaze and went silent for a moment. So if I finish off my painting, you'll make dinner for everyone again? A smile quickly spread across Nak-chan's face. Traces of drool could be seen on either side of her mouth. After skipping lunch, she was more hungry than she realized. I guess I could do that. Right after I wring an apology out of you, that is. Scott? Yes, I think that just might work. Everything is falling into place. Nak-chan stared at me with unmistakable fear in her eyes. You know what, forget I said anything. Nak-chan will work hard on her own accord. She doesn't need a reward for being awesome. Oh, don't say that. You'll get your reward, and then everyone will get along. We'll live out our days happily, without any further conflict. Just you wait and see. Scott, even though you're saying nice things, why does it sound like you're plotting something? Quietly, Nak-chan crept past me, making her way into the cabin before me. That's right, Nak-chan. Eat your damn potato chips, finish your assignment, and look forward to your reward. I'm going to back you into a corner and give you no choice but to get down on your knees and beg for Dawn's forgiveness. Jesus, that didn't sound good at all. Focused on the approaching deadline and the single piece of art yet to be finished, my morning flew by in an instant. By waking up early, I was able to drag Nak-chan out of bed, waking her up, and, well, begin work on the day before sunrise. Though unwilling at first, it didn't take long for Nak-chan to get into the zone. Her painting was almost finished, after all. We could both see that. And the appeal of completing her assignments once and for all was not lost on her. So with a level of enthusiasm she'd usually only show for her manga, Nak-chan carefully tackled the final stages of her painting until at last... It's finally done. Nak-chan had completed her painting. Well done, Nak-chan. Well done. Though it feels like you're mocking me when you say clap instead of actually clapping. Oh, I was actually just saying clap, clap, clap. God damn it. Nonsense. This has been a long time coming, and you're deserving of praise. Though her painting is admittedly not on the level of her fellow students. Nak-chan let out another sigh and slumped down further into her chair. I can't believe I'm finally done. I thought I'd never finish this stupid painting. I'm gonna be seeing Mars's stupid face in my dreams for months. I get it. You think the whole thing was stupid, which, I mean, it might have been. Just focus on the bright side, okay? It's all over now, and we still have a few days before my uncle returns. Yeah, I guess. But you know, if Miyazaki-sama's entire course is gonna be like this, then I'm not sure I want to stay here. Without showing even a hint that she was joking, Nak-chan spoke in a depressed voice. Since the moment I got here, it's been art this and oil paintings that. All I want to draw is manga, yet you, Miyazaki-sama, my parents, and everyone else seems to want me to stop doing it. Is it so wrong for me to follow my passion? Having completed her assignment at long last, Nak-chan was free from the tension that had kept her in line. All at once she began to open up, similar to how Dawn had just the other day. A bit for a completely different reason. It's not wrong, but it would be a shame. I don't mean to be rude, but your paintings are far more impressive than your manga. Yeah, I know. And that's exactly the problem. Do you know what it's like? Being good at something you hate and bad at something you love? Oh, I know that. My parents tell me to paint. My art teacher tells me to paint. My friends tell me to paint, and I just can't stand it. I came here thinking that this was my chance to learn how to draw manga from a master. If I learned from Miyazuki-sama, all those naysayers would be put in their place. Instead, it was just like everyone else. Nak-chan pulled herself out of her slump and rose to her feet. She then faced me with a serious expression on her face, completely in tune with what she had been saying. What do you think, Scott? Me? About what? About what I should do. Do you think I should give up on drawing manga and focus on painting? She wants my advice on something as important as this? I'm humbled that she values my opinion, but I don't really want to be the deciding factor. Oh, God. Even so, if Nak-chan asked me what I think I should do, then I guess my answer is... What I really, me personally, I would tell her to follow her heart after apologizing to Dawn. I think apologizing to Dawn would be, the biggest thing she should do, right, meow. But I would never just tell her to just stick to oil painting if she hates doing it. You know what I mean? You don't know. Either do what you want, but first apologize to Dawn. I took a step back from Nak-chan and collected my thoughts. Right before I started to feel sorry for Nak-chan, I need to confront her about what she did. Nak-chan isn't the only victim around here. She needs to understand that. I returned Nak-chan's serious glare and steeled my resolve. Nak-chan, before worrying about what other people expect of you professionally, you should worry about what's expected of you as a person. What you did to Dawn at the beach was unacceptable. At the very least, you owe her an apology. The moment those words left my mouth, Nak-chan's face contorted in surprise. Whether she had been hoping to avoid the topic, or she was genuinely surprised by the mention of Dawn's name, Nak-chan had not been expecting this. What I did to Dawn? What are you talking about? We were all just having fun together, right? What does that have to do with my career path? You'd be surprised. I sighed as I thought over the next phrase of my statement. Even if Nak-chan was usually easygoing, she was now on the receiving end of an accusation. To make matters worse, she was reaching out to me for advice just a moment ago. Having her plea turn on her like that would be jarring, to say the least. Nonetheless, I knew what I had to do. It was too late to turn back now, and I owed Dawn at least that much. Nak-chan, you just told me how people keep on pushing you to do something you loathe. You want to follow your passion. You want people to support you, to accept your decision. Can't you see the parallel to the way you were treating Dawn? She didn't choose to wear that outfit. She didn't want to go to the beach. She didn't enjoy being the subject of harassment. Between the three of us, you, Estelle, and I forced Dawn into an unbearable situation, then subjected her to the worst kind of treatment. Nakchan, if you meant any of what you just said to me, then you owe Dawn an apology, for both her sake and yours. During my monologue, and immediately thereafter, Nakchan remained silent. She did not agree or disagree with me, she did not interrupt, and she did not reply. All she could do was stare at me and take in what was said to her. An apology, huh? But Nakchan didn't do anything wrong. After a few moments of silence, Nakchan finally spoke, but it was not her usual carefree tone, nor was her voice filled with confidence. Nakchan spoke in a solemn manner, completely unbefitting the energetic girl I had become accustomed to. Listen, you may not see it that way, but Estelle, Dawn, and I all do. Besides, it's not like you're the only one at fault. I already apologized, and Estelle will be apologizing with you. You aren't alone in this. Yeah, but even so, why do I have to? Think of it as taking responsibility for stealing Dawn's butt cherry. Although I was half joking, Nakchan took my comment seriously. Despite the humorous phrasing, it was a fact that Nakchan had penetrated Dawn with her fingers. In some states, she might have been arrested for rape, to be honest with you. I guess it can't be helped. Apologizing is the least I can do after raping Dawn's butt, right? I scratched my head at Nakchan's proclamation. Even though an apology was indeed the result I was hoping for, her phrasing left us both feeling awkward. Anyway, enough serious talk. We should be celebrating, right? That's right! Nakchan finally finished her stupid assignment! So now it's time to get back to what really matters in life. Don't say drawing manga. Drawing manga! Well, whatever makes her happy. Apologies can come later. Right now, it's time to reward Nakchan for another hard day of work. And if her completed assignment means I get to stay here and take my uncle's class, then a little manga tutelage is a small price to pay. God damn. Like, this entire everything is getting all sad. But then it's getting happy, then it's getting sad, then happy again. When Nakchan's morning nonsense out of the way and her assignment finished at last, the remaining tasks of the day swirled around inside my head. At long last, everything seemed to be falling into place. Only a few days remained until my uncle would return, and upon seeing the girls' paintings, I was certain he would take me under his wing. So before he returned, it was my duty to see that any loose ends had been taken care of. And to that effect... Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2... I'm sorry, Dawn. Yeah, me too. I had begun to usher in a new era of peace. We wanted to get revenge on you for all the pranks you've been playing on us since we got here. I thought fighting perversion with perversion was a good way to go, but I was wrong. Same here. I just wanted to have fun with everybody while getting back at you for all the missing panties. That was wrong of me. I should have been more mature and responsible. I know this may sound forced, given the timing and the circumstances. Will you forgive us? With only minor prompting, Nakchan and Estelle both apologized to Dawn. They had seen the error in their actions and felt remorse for putting her through something neither one of them would ever want to experience. All that was left now was to see if Dawn could find it in her heart to forgive them. You both really mean it? You regret what you did? Yes, I thought it was funny at the time, but now I see that we went too far. And you, Nakchan? Nakchan? Nakchan averted her gaze. From the very beginning, it seemed as though Nakchan was more hesitant to apologize than Estelle. She only saw that day at the beach event as an event, and didn't really feel any remorse for her actions. Nonetheless, as the person responsible for stealing Dawn's butt cherry, she knew that offering an apology was the least she could do. Yeah, me too. I'm sorry for raping your butt, Dawn. What? Okay, that's a wrap. Everybody, great job, everyone. Very heartfelt. Yeah, go back to whatever you're doing. Show's over. Before Nakchan could exuberate the situation, I stepped in and put an end to her so-called apology. Damn it, Nakchan! Just say sorry like a normal person! At my command, both Estelle and Nakchan returned to their rooms. They had said their piece, and Dawn didn't explode in response, so it appeared as though she had accepted their apologies. Even so, after the other two left, Dawn remained behind. Scott? What's up? If it's about what Nakchan was saying, I swear that she... No. It's not that. I just wanted to thank you. Huh? Thank me? I don't understand. I haven't done anything worthy of thanks. If anything, you should be scolding me for my part in this. Dawn shook her head. That's not true. I do owe you my thanks. If not for you, those two would have never apologized. Oh, I do see what you're saying. Stell probably would have apologized on her own, but you're right about Nakchan. She's surprisingly stubborn. At any rate, I just hope we can put all this behind us. Dawn nodded. So do I, and for what it's worth, I'm sorry too. I should have just apologized when you told me to. Hey, don't say that. I was in the wrong, okay? They were the ones at fault, not you. No, I was at fault too. I knew what I was doing was wrong, and yet I... Lost for what next to say, Dawn grew silent. All right, I understand. We all messed up. We all apologized. And now it's time for everyone to move on. Still, while we're on topic, I don't mind standing up for you, but at some point you need to take control of your own life, you know? I won't always be around to defend you. You need to be more confident, so the next time you could tell them how you really feel yourself. Easier said than done. Confidence isn't something you can just decide to cultivate. You think so? Intrigued by Dawn's comment, I began to think about how a person would gain confidence in themselves. While some people seemed naturally and eminent with confidence, they just radiate it. There was usually a source or a reason for them to feel that way. For some, it was a skill they excelled at. For others, it was the support of another. As a world-class artist, it wouldn't be strange for Dawn to possess boundless confidence. She could easily put others, myself included, to shame. She should have no problem declaring her expertise or demanding respect. And yet, Dawn was forever the observer, and never the one being observed. She hid from the spotlight, content to work from the shadows as others gained all the attention. I get it now. I know exactly what you need, you quiet little pervert. You do? Wait, what's that look in your eyes? What look? I don't know what you're talking about. I just thought up the perfect way for a shy artist like you to gain some confidence in herself. Then why does it feel like I'm in danger? You're not planning on helping me at all, are you? Oh, don't say that. I assure you, I am definitely going to help you out.